welcome back to my channel and another movie review. Today's movie is another ticked off my watch list for March and in general, and is another film directed by women that I wanted to watch for Women's History Month. Doing this review is going to be a challenge because I am sneezing up a storm and have to blow my nose every 5 seconds, which I feel like is completely going to detract from the fact that this is a really awesome film. And I look like crap. I look like I probably have a cold or the flu or coronavirus. I don't have any of those. I just have a rare allergy, which sucks. So, before this gets any worse, let's get into today's review. Fast Color is a 2018 American superhero film directed by Julia Hart from a screenplay by Hart and Jordan Harowitz. It follows Ruth, a woman with supernatural powers on the run from law enforcement and scientists who want to study and control her. What an incredible film this is. It pains me to think how long it has taken me to see it, as it got my attention when I heard about it being introduced at film festivals. This film is in the same vein as Logan in that it's not a superhero movie. It's a movie with heart and a strong message being told to the backdrop of a superhero movie. This film knows what it wants to do and it knows the story it wants to tell. This isn't about action sequences, how much CGI they can use, or how much color they can throw at the screen despite the title. This is so much more than that, and I can't believe I actually saw someone call this another boring superhero film with nothing to offer. This film has so much to offer. At its core for me, this is a film about the hardships and burdens of women, especially women of color, depicted through the lives of 3 generations. It's a film about family and tradition and the weight that comes with it. It's a film about the human spirit and people's aversion to change. We have a grandmother, Bo, who rebelled in her youth and her life has changed because of it. She does the best she can to protect her family and keep them safe from the dangers in the world, knowing what's out there and wanting to protect them from her own experiences. There's her daughter Ruth, who has her own fears and struggles and is trying to figure out how to be a good person in a world she feels detached from and sees as bleak and unwelcoming. Then we have her daughter Lila, who longs for freedom and exploration, who still believes that the world is and can be better, who has that youthful optimism and wants to embrace opportunity. When you see these 3 women together, it's a fascinating dynamic. You know the love is there, but it's taken a backseat to other more urgent matters in their life. There's routine and structure, and you can sense that each generation has the weight of the generation before it on its shoulder, each one wanting to do differently but ultimately always going down the same path until finally one steps forward and breaks the cycle. There's a saying about being doomed to repeat the mistakes of our parents, and this film touches on that a little bit, I feel. At first glance, you'd think Ruth, Lila, and Bo are very different in personality, but they really aren't the more you watch them. They're really the same personality, just at different stages in life and with different life experiences, yet still ending in the same place. There are so many themes to dive into with this one. I feel whatever I say, I'm missing several because there's a lot, and each one is just incredible. The superpowers aren't even at the top of the list. I feel that the powers are far more of a metaphor, since we're talking about a line of women who have the ability to tear things apart and then put them back together, and afterwards can see a spectrum of colors that the human eye can't see. A lot can be taken from that. Each character in their own way is missing a piece of themselves, and as a family they are pulled apart. It's only towards the end of the film when they find inner strength and pull themselves together as individuals and as a family that their power is at its strongest. Or in Ruth's case, when she finally lets go of her fear and pulls herself back together again, the world around her isn't just full of color, but it's full of hope and possibility. It's the physical manifestation of the light at the end of the tunnel, the reward for pushing that far. Something about all this was like it was also trying to tell me about how being broken doesn't mean you're weak or that you can never be fixed. It just may take longer for you to get there. The powers themselves aren't elaborate or in your face. There's something calm and majestic about them. Seeing these powers in action feels serene, and I love that. but its most jaw-dropping moment is when Ruth and the audience see the colors for the first time. It's almost as stunning as seeing the Aurora Borealis in action. The way they depicted this on screen was the most gorgeous thing I'd ever seen, and I love that they left it for this one moment to show it. It gave it so much more weight and impact. It wasn't putting it on the screen every few seconds and killing it. It waited until the right moment and used it for this one moment, so it had the same effect on the audience as it does on the character. It's like seeing the world open up before you and everything bad and negative just disappears and you're only left with what's beautiful. I absolutely love this moment and was in complete awe. While I said there were so many themes and metaphors to take away from this film, at the end of the day, it's this beautiful and incredibly profound story, one where I feel like calling it a superhero film does it a disservice because that's not what this film is focusing on. That's just a caveat. This is so much more than that, so much more that it's hard to put into words. It really is one of those films you just have to watch for yourself. No shock here, but I was in tears by the end because it is so heartfelt and beautiful. It's not a film full of senseless violence or overdone action. It's far more of a drama with a superhero fantasy flair to it. If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it. Last year they announced they're doing a TV series based on the film with the original writers returning for the project. I'm honestly very intrigued to see this now, having seen the film. I hope that it stays true to the tone of the film and tries to expand on the same things depicted in the film. Whether the story be continuing from this, as the film is very open-ended, or it even being a prequel or a different set of characters in the same world, as long as it keeps the tone the same, I would be pretty happy. Though I imagine it's going to be hard to find actors to top the performances we got in this film because they were just brilliant. It is so hard to give a performance when you can't breathe. Oh my god, can someone turn the heat back on? Seriously, can someone turn summer back on? Because this weather sucks. If this is how I am in autumn, I'm not going to survive winter. I'm not. I'm going to be dead. Well, we might all be dead, but we'll see who gets there first. Anyway, I was very surprised to hear that they're doing a TV series of this film because it doesn't seem like the kind of thing they'd pick. But then again, I feel like there are certain films we see and people are like, oh yeah, we're doing a TV series based on this film. It's like, really? That seems like an odd choice because I don't feel like you can do more with the story based on what you saw in the film. But then there's this, and I think because it's so understated, but there's so much kind of unsaid that I feel like it does lend itself more to being a TV series where they can really dive into it and expand and go in different places. And like I said, the ending of this film is very open-ended. It does kind of leave itself open to a sequel, or in this case a TV series. So I really can't wait to see what they do. I don't know when that's going to come out. I think it's still in pre-production or something like that. I don't think they've started filming yet or anything like that, but I'm gonna keep my eyes and ears open because I'm down for it. Guaranteed, I haven't watched that many female directed films this month, as many as I would have liked. I will try and get in a couple more before the month ends, but of the ones I've seen so far, Fast Color is probably my favorite. I haven't yet watched one that I disliked, but this one definitely is my favorite. And yeah, if you haven't seen it, watch it. That's all I can say. Watch it. It is so good. How can someone say this was boring? And I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but girl, I'm just saying. So if you have seen Fast Color, please comment down below. Tell me what you thought about it. You know, share your movie opinions. How do you feel about them turning it into a TV series? And if you haven't seen it, feel free to comment something anyway. Thank you as always to my amazing patrons. I hope everybody out there is taking care of themselves, staying inside, don't go out unless you absolutely have to, and stay safe. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!